Week 4 of ZRL, and we're on the Innsbruckring. It's a classic race course. It's a simple scratch race, so no segments, no first across the line, no segment battle points like we nearly had last year. Just a plain, straight up race. And we're going to do 3 times up the leg snapper, which gives us most of the 232 meters of elevation. We've got slightly weird power-ups with the feather and the arrow being normal, but then the ghost power up. We'll talk a little bit about that. And I recommend the full aero setup. I know you're going to ignore me, a lot of you. You're going to go with your Trons because you think you're going to get dropped on the leg snapper, which you probably are anyway. But don't get blamed by me just because you chose the right bike, okay? You just haven't got enough power. So this race is going to be about 1 minute power, depending on your category. But I think it's mainly going to be about the far less sexy, but far more important, energy conservation. So let's have a look.
I want it all. I want it all. I want it all. And I want it now.
The first thing to say about energy conservation, other than choosing the right bike, on it at least go disc wheels, please. Okay, but just stay at the back. Stay at the back of the group. If you don't think there's going to be a breakaway at any point, there's no point in being at the front. And in most of this race, there's no chance of there being a breakaway. Maybe if you're in the A+ race and you're racing against Ed Laverack or wherever, but even he won't go in the first lap. So, stay at the back of the group. And then, take your little rests. There's some lovely little rests that you can have here. You just don't need to pedal. This little bit, say at 3k, where you go turn right after you've been over this little bridge, turn right, goes down to like 7% there. People are still pedaling away at 4 watts per kilogram. With the leg snapper, it's not up for debate. The best way to approach the leg snapper is towards the back of the group. Towards the back. That's where the draft is. Towards the front, there's no draft. If you're on the front, there's literally no draft. And limiting the length of your effort is absolutely crucial. Get towards the back as you're approaching the leg snapper. You'll get a nice little draft as you're going in on that 3% pit. And then you've got to put down your power, and that's when the power counts. But the length of your effort will be the main thing. And there's no point in winning the race to the top of the leg snapper unless you're going to go on a breakaway. If you're not going to go on a breakaway, then just stay in the top third or the top half of the group that you're with, and you'll be fine. Just stay in a safe place. You don't need to win it, especially with it being a teamed point race. If you go off flying off the front, you're probably dropping your teammates as well. Is that what you want? Do you want to drop your teammates, huh? Do you? If not, just stay in the group. If you've got a coordinated plan to do a team breakaway, great. Otherwise, just stay in a safe place in the group. Okay, let's have a look at the footage of Velo Zwifter, who doesn't do much on Zwift now, if anything, but I hope he comes back one day because he's a great rider. Let's have a look at his race from last year, which was a points race, so it's handled slightly different, but it's got some very instructive points. So it's obviously going to start off fast, and you want to follow at the back of the group, but if anyone goes riding off at the front on the first lap, then just let them. They're obviously not going to stay away for the whole thing, are they? And if they are, then they're probably miles better than you anyway. So just get yourself to the back, take these nice little rests when they come up. And this is the first one. Just as we come over this bridge, the right-hander where it goes down to 7% at a time, get yourself right to the back there. And Velo Zwifter doesn't do particularly well, ends up moving forward because he keeps on pedaling, even though it's minus 7%. But you can't just stop pedaling, and you'll really appreciate that on the second and third lap, believe me. So we make our way through Innsbruck, beautiful town by the looks of it. Very realistic from when I watched the replay of the Worlds. And as you come off the cobbles and approach this bridge, this is where you really want to be towards the back of the group, and he does a great job here. Now, as I say, he's in a points race, so he's going to go a bit further out. You've got a little dip here, so you can really ease off there, get yourself in full position. This is where you start on the power. Still moderate power, you don't want to fly through the group. He's going full steam because he's going for FTS, but this is where you want to just
manage your power so that you're getting within the first third. It's very hard to come off and on again, so just manage your power so you get in the first third, and then as you come to the halfway line, that's where judge your position. Are you in a safe position? Are there people behind you as well as people in front of you? People behind you help you keep safe as well as the group that you're with. So if there's a group of 30 behind the group of 10 that you're in, then you're fairly safe that 30 you're going to catch them. And similarly, if you're in the group of 30, then you're probably going to be fine. You no longer get the super tug as you're coming out of here unless you're on the front, and you don't want to be on the front, do you now? So he keeps the pedals turning anyway, even though this was in the days of the super tug whilst you're out of the draft. And yeah, there's this little bump here. People tend to go a bit mad. You do want to push over the top a bit, but yeah, the group from behind will start to catch generally. Yeah, have a little bit of a dig, push over the top, get a bit of speed, and then it gets very steep on the descent on the other side of here. Now, with power-ups, you'll get a power-up right at the start. If you get a ghost, just drop it. Don't try and do anything clever. Don't feel obligated to use the ghost just because you've got it to do a breakaway. Just bin it and just get on with the race. And then you get a power-up at the top of the leg snapper. And again, if you get a ghost, probably want to get rid of it as well. The others are feather and aero. And maybe you want to try and get a feather to hold for the next leg snapper if you're on the first and second time over the leg snapper. And then and maybe even the third time, yeah. And then try and get an aero for the finish, probably. There are opportunities to use the ghost in the finish, so we've just skipped to the final lap. Now he's doing a points race again, so he's going to go for the sprint, and he does pretty well. But yeah, you want to try and use your power-ups to optimize the chance that you get an aero for the finish. So as you come out of here, there might be people trying and get away there. There's a possibility, if you've got a ghost and you're feeling up for it, you could do a ghosted attack there. And there's a possibility that you'll get a double ghost. So you get one ghost, use the ghost just as you're going through the power-up banner, put down the power, accelerate away, see what other power-up you get. If you get another ghost, just as it's running out, just tap the button, try and get a double ghost. And then, what sort of lead you're going to get with less than 2 kilometers to go? It could be done. And yeah, as you come off the riverbank and take a right, there's a little dip into there, so relax a bit, and then there's a uphill bit. Fellow Zwifters footage cuts out here, but you could make a go for it here as well, again with the ghost potentially if you've got a ghost, but hopefully you won't. Hopefully you'll have the aero, in which case I'll be tempted just wait till the finish. But you could manage it between you if you're in a group with one or more teammates. So his footage cuts to 700 meters to go, and there's always someone who goes long here, really annoying. And if it's you, well done, good on you. But it's usually not. So yeah, you'll have, if you've got the draft power up, now lasts for 40 seconds, so you could probably use it from, depending on the speed of your group, maybe 600 meters, and it'll last you all the way. If you've got an aero, that's only 15 seconds, so maybe 250, 300 meters, again depending how fast you go. But yeah, it's just a straight sprint to the line. Try not to lead people out like he did a bit there. But yeah, that is the Innsbruckring ×3, including 3 leg snappers. The very best of luck to you on this magnificent course. I wish you all the luck in the world. Bye.